Okay, so this first one that I want you to have a go at, maybe you've already had a go at it, I'm going to go through a little bit quicker than maybe I did on the previous section. So we have here that C is a circle with equation x squared plus y squared equals 18, and I've got some surds in here. P has coordinate root 2, 4, and it's a point on C. Find an equation of the tangent to C at P. Okay, so I guess what I'm going to do is a quick sketch just to slightly visualize what's going on. P is going to be somewhere over here, it doesn't really matter. Oh yeah, of course, the first step is to find the gradient of OP. So that's going to be the change in y, which is the y coordinate, divided by the change in x, which is root 2. So when I'm finding the gradient of the perpendicular, I'm going to take the negative reciprocal of that. So that's going to be negative root 2 over 4. What I need to do now is find out the equation of the line, which is going to be going through this point with this gradient. And remember my formula I like to use. This is x1 and this is y1. The formula is y minus y1 equals m brackets x minus x1. So I'm going to go straight in and say y minus 4 equals minus root 2 over 4 brackets x minus root 2. And that's actually the end of that question. You don't need to do any more. However, if you use the y equals mx plus c method, I'll just show you the equivalent answer to this. So it's going to be y minus 4 equals minus root 2 over 4x plus, because it's a negative times a negative, the root 2 times the root 2 is just going to give you 2. And the 2 divided by 4 is just going to be a half. So the answer that you might have if you did the y equals mx plus c method is y equals minus root 2 over 4x plus 4 plus a half, which is 9 over 2. And of course, you can check this on Desmos. You can put in the equation of this and of the circle, and hopefully you'd see that they are tangents. Okay, so question 2. It says a circle has equation x squared plus y squared equals 19. A tangent to the circle is drawn at the point Q4 where Q is greater than 0. Find an equation of the tangent at Q. So I'm going to do a quick sketch because sometimes it helps me think what's going on. So Q is going to be somewhere over here, we don't really know. And then we're going to eventually do the same thing we did on the previous page. Well, this is like my x and my y. So my x squared plus y squared equals 19. So my x squared plus my y squared, 4 squared is 16, is equal to 19. So q squared is 19, take away 16, which is 3. So q is the square root of 3. I've taken the positive square root of 3 as q is greater than 0. So this actually means that our coordinates of q are root 3 and 4. So all we're going to do, this is q and this is the origin, we're going to find the gradient of OQ. That's going to be the change in y, the y coordinate, divided by the change in x, which means when I find the perpendicular gradient, I will take the negative reciprocal like this. All that's left is to put it into my y minus y1 equals m brackets x minus x1 formula. Remember, this is going to be my x1 and this is going to be my y1. So it's going to be y minus 4 equals minus root 3 over 4 x minus root 3. Now if you want to check that you get the same thing if you do the y equals mx plus c, I'm going to keep going, but you don't have to keep going because this is technically the correct answer already. This is going to be plus 3 over 4. So you get y equals minus root 3 over 4x, and then 3 over 4 plus 4, that's going to be 19 over 4, because 4 is of course 16 over 4, so 16 over 4 plus 3 over 4 is 19 over 4. And like I just said on the previous page, you could go onto Desmos, download the app, or just go to the web page. You could type in this equation, and you would see that it's going to be a tangent just like this, okay? Question 3, which is perhaps a slightly trickier one, it says that a circle has centre 0, 0. A tangent to C passes through the points 12, 0 and 0, 4. Find the equation of C. So the tangent is going to be passing through 12, 0, which is over here, and 0, 4. So we're going to have 12, 0 and 0, 4. And we're going to have this tangent. Now, on the previous time, I think I did it in black, so I'm going to be consistent and do that in black. And we're going to have a circle that is just going to be touching it at some point. So the circle is going to be touching it like that. Not perfect, but not bad. And so what we're going to try and do is find out the equation of this circle. Remember, that's our x squared plus y squared equals r squared. If we can find out what r squared is, we've done the question. So I think the first thing we're going to do is we're going to look at the tangent and we're going to find the tangent's gradient. So we've got these two coordinates. The two coordinates are 12, 0 and 0, 4. We're expecting this to be negative. You can see from the graph this is a negative gradient. So it is going to be that m is going to be the change in y. So I'm going to do the 0 minus 4. So that's 0 minus 4 over the change in x, which is 12 minus 0. So that's minus 4 over 12, which is minus 1/3. Okay, so that means that we can actually come up with the equation of the tangent. So the tangent equation is just going to be y equals mx plus, well, you can tell what the y-intercept is. It's really easy. The y-intercept is just 4 plus 4. Now we're going to think about the radius. Now we know the radius is going to meet it like this. And the equation of this line is just going to be y equals the negative reciprocal gradient. And it's going through the origin, so there's not going to be any plus c at the end. So the equation of this line, the equation is going to be y equals 3x, because we've taken the negative reciprocal because the black line and the red line are perpendicular, and there's nothing added on afterwards because it's going through the origin, so it's actually like a plus 0. So what we're going to do is we're going to simultaneously solve y equals 3x and y equals minus 1/3 x plus 4. It's going to give me a bit more space because I know I didn't have enough space last time. So when I solve these simultaneously, I can literally just replace the y in the second equation with 3x. I'm going to add the third to the other side, so 3 plus 1/3. Obviously you can do these things on a calculator. I'll show you that sometimes it's good to do them on a calculator. 3 plus 1/3 is 10/3, so you get 10/3 x equals 4. So I'm going to do 4 divided by 10/3, 4 divided by the answer, which is 6 over 5. So that means that x is equal to 6 over 5, which is just 1.2. And then I can use that to find out what y is equal to, because clearly y is equal to 3x, so it's going to be equal to 3 times 1.2, which is 3.6. So my last step is to find out what r squared is by doing x squared plus r squared equals r squared, sorry, x squared plus y squared equals r squared. So 1.2 squared plus 3.6 squared is r squared. So I'm going to do 1.2 squared plus 3.6 squared, and we get 14.4. So that means r squared is 14.4, and hence the equation is x squared plus y squared equals 14.4. That is the equation of the circle. I'm going to show you one more thing at the end of this topic, which is showing that a line is a tangent to a circle algebraically. But if you've been able to do those questions, then you're in a pretty good position, because I think this is some tough stuff. This is really similar to A-level maths. Found this video helpful? Then why not drop it a like and consider subscribing to my channel. If you'd like the next video in the playlist, you can click here to be taken straight to it. And as always, wishing you the very best for all your studies.